Okay, so I'm back. We are through working, and I thought I'd come through and show you one zone in here that's doing quite well. And we put it away already. We had a nice little harvest from these plants in here. So we had a couple of okra, we had some sweet potato. What else did we have? Eggplant has started really producing, so we had about 6 of those. And then the beans, we had 2 types of beans. We have the heirloom lima bean and then the snap bean. So here we go. So in this bed, really the only vegetable growing right now is the okra. I've already harvested it. This plant is it's on the smaller side for producing. The original seeds, the original that we got was a hybrid, and then we grew this from one of the mature okras. So because it's a hybrid, it's not going to grow true to the mother plant, and I don't know what varieties were crossed to get this. So maybe one variety was short and hardy, and then so that's what this is. So but anyway, we're just trying to show plants that volunteer, easy to grow. This is the zone that I'm calling the Black Thumb Garden, because everything in here is pretty easy to grow. And you can see here, so these cosmos and different things, they are dropping their seeds, and then they are happily sprouting because they are on a timed watering system, which is critical because this is remote gardening. We have the comfrey there. I don't have anything else here. I tried to, oh wait, no, I spoke too soon. So I haven't really gotten down into this today and really inspected. But I plant, this is why I have this stick. When you grow free form like this in your garden, you need some kind of marker to know where you stuck a seed in. So good thing, because I see it down there. There's a tomato that we've had good success with. It's a cherry tomato. It's called Midnight Snack. It's a really cool variety because it's virtually black and has a nice flavor. So I'm looking down there, I see it, and the reason why I know is because this variety has that dark purple, I don't know, gene or whatever in it. The seedlings have that in it too. So right there I see 2, and there's some dark purple on it. And when that stick is there, otherwise I might have pulled it up. And I remember there's room in here. I needed to get something growing. Here on this side of the island, the west side, possibly even the east side all the way to Honolulu, I have found that with tomatoes, if you're growing them from seed, now's the time. January is the time to get them started, so they can put down a really deep root system and be ready to go before the summer, because especially on the west side, it gets dry and hot very quickly. And if the tomato has already been growing for a couple of months and really put out a good deep root system, it will start producing, and you'll have a longer production time versus waiting until April or May. Even if you have a plant out of a pot, it just doesn't have time to get a root system. Tomatoes have a tremendous root system. Given the opportunity with good soft soil that they can really put it out in, you can get a very extensive root system for tomatoes, because they need a lot of water and they need a lot of nutrients, and so they will send it out to get it. Here is the sweet potato. Again, it's still doing really well. We've been harvesting over here just by hand. I've been following the trail of the dark orange portions. I think I've showed you in the past, and we were able to get some really nice sweet potato. And then over here, like I said, the corn, and then the eggplants have already been harvested, but there's a lot of babies. In fact, there's a curlicue one, so funny. I have no idea why it does this, but if you don't grow your own, you'll never get to see an eggplant look like this. This is the Oriental Long variety from UH. So it's supposed to be long and skinny. Look at him. You miss out on all the fun things like this when you only buy it from the grocery store if you don't grow your own. Again, why did it do that? I have no idea. Is it edible? Absolutely. And then here's our bean plant. This is the heirloom Christmas lima bean. And one of the volunteers here said she was going to just throw it in with her rice. So in the rice pot, when she cooks her rice, she's just gonna throw the bean. Now what you have to do is you have to shell this bean. You don't eat this part. You take the seeds out, but I know, look, you see how lumpy it is? I know, because I've grown this before, that it can get bigger. But it's not ready to eat until you at least see a hump growing through there. So that's the Christmas lima bean. And then we also finally got a nice little handful harvest here from this. These are snap beans, very tender to grow. So yeah, these need to be grown in cooler weather, spring, winter time for Hawaii. Get them started because they don't like the heat. And they have these, they're very tender plants. They have these little tendrils, so they need something to cling on to. So that's snap beans. We got a harvest from there. I stuck some corn here because there was space, so I stuck that in there. And I want to come over and show you. So I have, you see this bed, this one bed here? I'm trying to get the midnight snack to grow. I've got one here. You can see it there. I marked it with a stick. And then there's one there. I marked it with a stick. These two are more than enough for this entire bed. Don't overplant it. Be patient and wait. Now, we did put these other plants in here. These are daisies. So they're flower. They're just going to clump there. We just transplanted them, so hopefully they will make it. We've got some more corn over here, and we've got these beets. So the beets will be done well before the corn. So you can see that you can eat both the top and the bottom of beets. And this is what I wanted to show you. So we've transplanted some because it was growing so thick. And I think that's preventing it from blooming. This plant has looked like this for almost 2 years. It's going on 2 years. And it looked really healthy, but no bloom. And we came today and we all cheered and got excited because our first bud, and there's only one. So we thinned them out, hopefully give it some room, but I'm going to try and show you. It's just too much that it's not even in the ground. So it needed to be thinned, so we thinned that out, but patience. 2 years it took to get one bud. So it's really exciting when you are so patient and you work so hard, and so that's the nature of gardening. Another thing, let's see, I wanted to show you. There's a it's called Waterwise. It's sort of a xeriscape type of garden. which is right next to us. And 2 weeks ago, I got in here and really thinned this one type of aloe. And this is the result. So this bed it had some plants in there that had already bloomed. They were really large. And then there were other babies that had grown up and they were all squished in there. It really needed to be thinned. It's kind of a job you don't really want to do because it's big and gangly, and actually the mature plants in there, stalks, are quite heavy. That was about 2 weeks ago. Thinned it out, got rid of those because they were done. And now it triggered it. It has a fresh boost of energy. Look at all the bud stalks. It's covered, so now it's getting ready to bloom. And a lot of the cactus in here, cactus or succulents, are starting to bloom. But you have to thin to give it energy to bloom, because blooming takes a lot of energy, and it wants to bloom. So, and it's pretty neat because I see these plants, they're not just one out the center, it's putting some out of the sides there. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if it's going to be orange or red, but we're excited to see that bloom. We've got this plant here, and it is starting to bloom. It's got a different type of bloom with flower. So I don't know if it's a moth. See, there's blooms down inside there too. Yeah, and then this plant, you can see this orange. This whole thing was dark, rusty orange during the summer when it was not getting any water and when it was really, really hot. If you always water your succulents, you're not going to let it show its natural beauty. And so when it's not blooming in the summertime, oftentimes there's times when you should not water it. It naturally should not get water. And that will either trigger it to bloom, or it will change color and you'll get a really pretty color. So different succulents, different cactus have different things. You have to look it up. Like I said, this whole mound here was dark rusty orange. It was really pretty. So I don't know what variety this is, but this was only about 2 or 3 plants, and they've kind of grown like an octopus. So quite interesting. Anyway, here we are. Hope you folks have a great, what is today, Wednesday? And I'm going to go off and I'm going to go get some vegetables. Herbs, actually. We've got some herbs over here that are ready to go. So if you have any questions, please let me know below. Thanks for watching.